Have you ever had this moment where you're sitting down, maybe late at night, checking your bank app, and you think, okay, I'm not broke. I'm paying my bills. I'm not drowning, but somehow 5 years keep going by and your life doesn't actually feel that different. Like, look, you're working. You're earning more than you used to. You're trying to be responsible, but the gap between where you are and where you thought you'd be by now just keeps staying the same. And what's frustrating is no one ever told you why this happens. Because here's the thing, it's not that you're lazy. It's not that you're bad with money. It's that you were never taught the three money skills that actually decide who builds wealth and who stays stuck. In schools, they completely skip them. My name is John, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually works in real life. If you're someone who makes decent money but still feels behind financially, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today I want to walk you through three money skills that rich families quietly pass down, but most people never learn at all. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. Look, school taught you how to earn money, get good grades, get a job, work harder, get raises. But here's what most people don't realize. Earning money and building wealth are two completely different skills. According to data from the Federal Reserve, nearly 60% of Americans earning over $100,000 still live paycheck to paycheck. Let that sink in. Six figures, still stressed, still one emergency away from panic. So clearly, income alone isn't the answer. This is where it gets really interesting. Because wealthy families don't obsess over income first. They obsess over control, leverage, and behavior. Let's break it down. Skill number one, cash flow control, not budgeting. Here's the first skill rich families teach early. Control your cash flow, or it will control you. Now you might be thinking, John, I already budget. That's not what I mean. Why budgeting fails most people. Traditional budgeting is reactive. You earn money, then you spend money, then you analyze the damage afterward. That's backwards. Here's a simple example. Let's say you make $5,000 a month after taxes. Most people do this. Rent, $1,800. Car, $550. Subscriptions, $120. Eating out, $600. Random spending, $900. Then they say, okay, whatever's left, I'll save, which ends up being nothing. What rich families do differently. Wealthy families flip the order. They decide where money goes before it arrives. For example, 20% automatically moves to investing, 10% goes to long-term reserves, 60% becomes lifestyle spending, 10% stays flexible. So if income rises, savings rises automatically. No willpower required. Here's what most people don't realize. Your brain adapts to whatever money is left available. This is called Parkinson's Law. Expenses expand to match income, and rich families engineer around that psychological weakness. Action step immediate. Before your next paycheck, open a separate account. Set an automatic transfer for investing. Treat it like a bill you can't skip, not saving what's left, saving first. Skill number two, understanding good debt versus bad debt. This one triggers people because school teaches debt is bad, avoid it, which sounds responsible, but it's incomplete. The truth about debt is a tool, and like any tool, it depends on how you use it. Here's a simple rule wealthy families follow. Bad debt costs you money and depreciates. Good debt increases cash flow or long-term value. Let's look at real numbers. Bad debt example. A $45,000 car loan at 7% over 6 years. Monthly payment, approximately $760. Total paid, approximately $54,700. You lost nearly $10,000 on something that's worth less every year. And worse, that payment limits your future options. Good debt example. Now compare that to a $250,000 rental property with 20% down, $50,000. Mortgage at 6%, rent covering the payment. That debt pays itself, builds equity, benefits from inflation, generates tax advantages. Same concept, debt, completely different outcome. This is where it gets really interesting. Rich families don't ask, is debt risky? They ask, who pays for it? If you pay, be careful. If assets pay attention. Psychology behind it, most people avoid debt because it feels scary. Wealthy families understand. Risk comes from ignorance, not leverage. Controlled leverage accelerates time action. Step audit your debt. List every balance. Label it wealth building or wealth draining. Aggressively eliminate the draining ones first. Skill number 3, thinking in systems, not paychecks. This is the biggest one and the least taught. Paycheck thinking versus system thinking. Most people think, how much do I make per hour? Rich families think, how many systems produce income without my time? Here's a brutal stat. According to a Stanford study, over 80% of millionaires have multiple income streams, not one. Not because they hustle more, but because they design systems. A simple analogy. Imagine 2 people filling a bucket. Person A uses a cup, runs back and forth, gets tired. Person B builds a pipe. Slower at first, but eventually, effortless flow. School trains cup carriers. Wealth requires pipe builders. Realistic example. Let's say you invest $500 per month at an average 8% return in 10 years and approximately $91,000 in 20 years, approximately $294,000 in 30 years, approximately $745,000. That's not hustle. That's systems plus time. Here's what most people don't realize. Your first system feels pointless until suddenly it isn't. Action step. Start one system this year. Automatic investing, digital product, rental, dividend portfolio. Not everything, just something that runs without you. Now you might be thinking, John, I didn't grow up rich. Neither did most self-made millionaires, or I don't make enough yet. That's exactly why these skills matter early. Wealth isn't built by big numbers. It's built by correct behavior repeated over time. I once met someone earning half of what their coworker made. Same job, same city. But 10 years later, one had assets, options, freedom. The other, still stressed. The difference wasn't intelligence. It was these 3 skills. Look, no one is coming to teach you this. Schools won't, employers won't, and banks definitely won't. But once you learn these skills, you're playing a different game. A calmer one, a smarter one. One where money stops being stressful and starts being strategic. If this video helped you see money differently, hit subscribe. Drop a comment with which skill you're going to start using this month. And remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be intentional. I'll see you in the next one.